What is going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam, and obviously Chase Young was just drafted by the Washington Redskins, and I know what you're thinking. Why did I click on a Chase Young video with a Washington Redskins emblem, and why am I watching Raiders film? Well, I'll tell you exactly why. If you did your research, you know that Jack Del Rio is the defensive coordinator for the Washington Redskins. Where was Jack Del Rio the last head coach for, and where did they run his system with? The Oakland Raiders of 2016. Okay, now, where are the similarities and how does Chase Young fit into this defense, right? Because the defense that they're going to be running this upcoming year is going to be different than what they ran last year. Last year, they were much more 3-4. Last year, they had a true nose tackle, right? You have your 2 4-eyes or 5 techs with your outside linebackers on the outside. I think it's going to be a different defense this year, which is why I think Chase Young fits so perfectly into that system. Now, where does he fit on this screen? There's number 52 right here, and that's Khalil Mack. And we all know that this dude is a freak, right? Khalil Mack is a stud. He was a freak in college. He's been a freak in the NFL. Am I saying that Khalil Mack and Chase Young are equals? Are they parallels? No, not just quite yet, right? Chase Young still has to take a couple of snaps in the NFL, but I think that the way that Khalil Mack plays in this game and in certain situations and the situations that Jack Del Rio puts him in are going to be very similar to Chase Young. Now, we take a look here for this first snap. Titans, right, Mariota, obviously older school. I think DeMarco Murray's playing running back here. But we have Khalil Mack, and he's in this technically like a 9 tech, right, outside shade of this offensive lineman here, but he's really a 6 offensive lineman. And just look at what he does with this, right? He doesn't friction with this because he knows he's working up. He's got to take the inside shoulder pad of this tight end who works on him, and he extends and pushes this dude right into the backfield. Great play from Khalil Mack. Those are the things that I can see Chase Young doing with the Washington Redskins. It's playing that edge defender spot. It's collapsing down a couple of gaps. It's really forcing that running back to move elsewhere, right? Now, this play, it wasn't as obvious, but he was on the outside edge of that. Now, we move on to a game against the Buccaneers, right? We have Jameis Winston. What can he do rushing the passer? Now, I would think that Khalil Mack is a little bit faster than Chase Young, but I think power-wise, they're both still pretty much in the same boat. And I think that, obviously, Chase Young is a freak athlete as well, so he can probably do stuff like this. But again, watch how we rush with this. First things first, I'm not a fan of how this tackle goes about this, right? He turns his shoulders immediately, doesn't get into his kick set, gives him a soft edge, and Khalil Mack just takes some fierce advantage of that. But again, this is something that I do think Chase Young can do, working upfield, right? And what is really the core of this defense? What are we getting at? How does Chase Young fit? It's creating those one-on-one matchups with tackles, right? These are situations that Chase Young is going to be able to win. Watch how we work upfield. We press right into that tackle, right into his chest, and we're able to move him out of the way. He's got no chance to make a play on that. Now, in this situation, right, we're going to see this thing from the end zone. This is a great job of Khalil Mack taking on a fullback one-on-one. Again, this is what I could see Chase Young translating to with the Raiders. Now, the other reason why I put this clip in there is because Khalil Mack's standing up in this situation. Chase Young is going to have to play out of a 2-point stance in order to play in the NFL. At some point, he's going to be in a 2-point stance. Right now, in this situation, we have 3 down offensive linemen, and if you might be challenging me right now saying, Cam, well, this looks like a 3-4 because here's our 3 offensive linemen, and then we have our 2 outside backers. No, it's not. It's not, okay? This is almost like a 5-man under, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our 5 guys. We have our 1 tech to the strength of the formation over here with the tight end. We have our defensive end or our edge defender. He's head up with the tackle. Sometimes he's outside over here on the edge of that tackle. Since there's a tight end, though, they bring down this outside backer, technically, quote unquote, and now he's the edge guy. But it's basically a 5-man under. You have your backside 3 tech. And this is what I can see Chase Young being, right? Kind of like that backside or that fielder boundary defender, right? Because he has the athleticism in space. He's a great pass rusher, okay? But this is stuff that I could see him doing. If you're not going to take on Chase Young the same way that they do with Khalil Mack in this situation, Chase Young's going to do the exact same thing. He's going to blow up this fullback, and he's going to make a play on the running back, right? And this is a great play, but once again, you're putting him in that position. And Chase Young is going to have to learn how to play out of a 2-point stance. Those are really the main points of why I put these clips in there. But again, I do think that Chase Young can be a dominant edge defender in this league. I do think that his pass rushing techniques and some of the things that the moves that he used are going to be challenged in the NFL. He's not going to be able to just run around guys like he did in college. And I think that NFL teams, maybe for the first 5 or 6 weeks, they're probably going to just, hey, let's see if our tackle can block him one-on-one. Let's see if he can beat a pro tackle. But then he's going to be able to do stuff like this. And again, this is very Khalil Mack-esque, and I'm not saying that they're going to be the exact same. And I know people are going to light me up in the comments for it, but that's okay. I don't care, right? Khalil Mack works upfield, right? He gets his hands out. He's ready to swipe the hands down, and then he swipes this thing right inside with a nice swim move, bringing that inside arm right to his shoulder pad and working this dude right across. That's an excellent move from Khalil Mack. Excellent move from Khalil Mack. Now, we move on to a little bit of Chase Young film. Where are the similarities? Where is he different, okay? In almost every situation at Ohio State, he had his hand in the dirt. Do I think that that's a major difference? No, I really don't, because really what his responsibility is on that play is the same, right? He's pass rushing on this 3rd and 16. Why wouldn't you? Okay, but his strength, right? The ability to move this tackle basically out of the way. Okay, he engages. He works that inside arm, right? Does a great job of swinging himself inside and then sheds this dude for a nice sack. Okay, same thing on this play. Now, this one's a little bit different. I'm sorry, not the same thing. This time they've got a tight end on him, and this is a situation where I really kind of scratch my head. I don't understand why you think a tight end's going to be able to block Chase Young, but Chase Young just beats this dude with pure speed. And this is something that if he plays an unathletic tackle in the NFL, he's going to be able to do that exact same thing. Now we move on to another game against Penn State, right? And against Penn State, he was very dominant against Penn State and Wisconsin. Okay, but in this situation, what do I like about what Ohio State's running as a defense, right? If you look at their defensive front, we can't see this thing from the end zone, but you would see Chase Young on the outside shade of this tackle. Okay, we would see a defensive end on the outside shade of that 3-tech, a backer head up on the center, right? And then again, we've got outside shade, outside shade. This is technically a bear front from this Ohio State defense. And what is it doing? It's creating a one-on-one matchup right here at the bottom. Go let Chase Young go. Let him be dominant. Let him be effective. What's he do? He swipes down with the hands, dips that shoulder pad, bends the edge, and he's in there for a sack. These are things I can see the Redskins doing with Chase Young. And these are the reasons why I think he will be effective. Now, last clip I have for Chase Young, right, he's standing up. He's in a 2-point stance. And everybody makes such a big deal. Is he going to have his hand in the dirt? Is he going to be in a 2-point? His responsibility is going to be the same. It really doesn't matter. And if you're a coach and you're forcing Chase Young to be in a 3-point stance, or you're forcing him to be in a 2-point stance because that's what you want, then you can't do that. You have to let this kid play, right? He's such a stud. There's some times where, hey, if your responsibility is going to be rushing the passer, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you feel like you can do. Now, in this situation, once again, what do we create across the board? Man-on-man situations from Ohio State, and I see the Redskins doing a lot of this as well with Chase Young, okay? When he comes off the ball, once again, does a good job of dipping, right? When you dip like that as a pass rusher, you're not giving this offensive lineman anything to punch, right? You can punch down on his shoulder pad, but now you have to be firm punching down and work your feet, making sure that you run him out of the pocket and hoping that his feet slip and he falls into the ground. Chase Young, however, has the flexibility and the bend to get around that, and then he comes up and makes a play. Again, just phenomenal stuff out of him, and these are some of the things that I think are going to translate very, very well to the NFL. Okay, now here's another example of him against Michigan State. This is just a really quick, this is that quickness, right? That's something that we saw with Khalil Mack in those clips that I wonder if we'll see with Chase Young, and it's that quickness, it's that first step, it's that once he makes a move, he's gone, he's attacking right now. And I think that Chase Young does have a little bit of that in him. This is just a phenomenal swipe move from him, bringing that inside hand right to the elbow of the offensive lineman, swiping that inside arm of his and then swimming over it. Phenomenal job getting in on the play. Now, does he have a sack on this? Is it going on the stat sheet? No. But you better believe that this quarterback is not going to make the best of throws with Chase Young bearing down on him. Right? That's a lot to take in. And I think that some of those things are going to translate to the NFL, and I have been kind of critical of Chase Young just because I don't think that the moves that he uses repetitively, I think, are going to be shut down by legitimate pro NFL tackles. Now, I do think he's going to have success, and I think that the more that kid plays in his first and second and third years, which is going to be a lot, the better he's going to be. And I'm very excited to see what he can do on the Redskins and how much he can change that defense, because I think he is going to make a very big impact. And you pair him with guys like Montez Sweat, like Kerrigan, like Darren Payne, like Jonathan Allen. Those guys are going to make a big difference, and I think that defense is going to be it's going to be a lot better than it was last year. I don't want to say they're going to be great yet, but they're going to be a lot better than they were last year. So with all that being said, guys, I'm the Hook Cam. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, it would mean the world to me, as well as checking out Jackson Kruger Sports. We're both putting out a ton of content right now for the draft, and there's going to be a lot more to come. So with all that being said, guys, I hope you're enjoying draft day. I hope that your team's making the right picks. You're feeling good. You're walking tall. Everybody's going to be a Super Bowl contender at this point. So hope everybody's having a good time, staying safe, washing those hands. That's all I got for you today, but until next time, stay safe, fellas.